One of the central themes of a gender exploration or a transition is the notion that we are headed somewhere in particular. Or, in other words, we are becoming something specific. We are changing and evolving, and slowly, through effort applied over time, we are moving towards some sort of a destination or some moment in the future when we have successfully embodied that creative vision which we have for ourselves. And so this is all well and good. And I will be the first to admit that having gender related goals and then actively working towards them is an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling life path. But, and this is a big but, becoming something in the future is also a trap. It's a sneaky, subtle mirage which will keep you stuck inside of a hamster wheel for as long as you remain unaware of what's really going on. And if you're like most people, then it's going to take years and years of hard work, crazy amounts of effort before you realize, oh my God, I've been spinning my wheels like crazy, thinking that I'm working towards something, but in reality, I haven't gone anywhere. And that's what this conversation is about. Identifying one of the most common misconceptions about a gender exploration and then giving you a shortcut, which is going to save you a ridiculous amount of time and energy. But before I give you that shortcut, let's talk more about this trap, which I am calling the hamster wheel of becoming. So this is a sneaky subconscious orientation where we place the goal or the desired outcome of our gender exploration outside of ourselves. And we do this by projecting a mental image into the future. And we tell ourselves, over there, well, that's me. That's my life over there. That's my truth. That's my destination. But of course, the implication of saying something like this is that we have to dismiss our current situation in favor of this future one, which means that when we look to life as it is in the present moment, we are subconsciously reinforcing to ourselves, oh, this is not me. This is not my truth. This is not my body. This is not my life. Or said another way, as soon as you externalize your goal and project it into the future, you give your power away. Because now you have to go on this epic journey in order to find yourself. You have to explore gender, or you have to transition. You have to take all of these steps away from where you are currently in order to find your truth, which of course, it's not something that is located here, it's something that is located there. And so the reason that I'm calling this a hamster wheel is because the person who places their goal either in the future or outside of themselves immediately creates an impossible predicament. Because what happens to the person who is searching for themselves in the future? Does the future ever come? Or is it always the present moment? And then what happens to the person who is trying to become someone else? Like, is that even possible? Or are you always going to be exactly who you are? Now, it's important to note that working towards a goal absolutely has its place. Becoming, searching, evolving, all of this is necessary and it's unavoidable. And no matter what, you are going to have to put in some effort. This is just how the game is played. But there is a world of difference between the person who is taking steps into themselves, is deepening their relationship with life, and is surrendering into their current reality, and that situation compared to the person who is compulsively, obsessively, frantically running away from where they are in search of this impossible goal that has been externalized and then projected into the future. And the reason that it's so important to recognize this dynamic is because otherwise you will be placing yourself within a situation where the real you is always at the end of this carrot stick. It's always after the next surgery. It's after you start hormones. It's after you pass. And it's like then and only then you are gonna be the real you, right? And the sad thing is, if this addiction to becoming really takes hold, you are gonna spend the rest of your life chasing after a mirage, searching for something outside of yourself. And so that's the situation that our strategy is addressing. Stepping off of this hamster wheel of becoming, turning around, and embracing exactly who you are right here, right now. Okay, so let's get into that strategy, which is called You Already Are Who You Are. So this is a fundamental recognition that at your core, in the deepest, truest sense, you already are yourself. You are a perfect embodiment of truth and love, and nothing you do or don't do is going to change that. So this means you can transition or not. You can make mistakes or not. You can move from this end of the gender spectrum all the way over to this one, and still, underneath it all is you. Timeless, unchanging, immutable. There you are, from birth to death, witnessing and experiencing your life. And while yes, your gender exploration is absolutely an incredibly important part of your individual life path, it's crucial to recognize that it's not actually the truth of who you are. Instead, it's simply a tool or a method for recognizing that truth. And that's the distinction I want you to make. Recognize that you are the one who experiences change, but you are not the change itself. Or in other words, recognize that your transition is not a means of earning or creating who you already are. Because who you are is not something that can be given or taken away, right? It's not something that can be here one day and then gone the next. And just because you might be experiencing incongruence or dysphoria, that doesn't mean that you are somehow magically not yourself. And it absolutely does not mean that you're going to have to put in work in order to earn who you are. But of course, this doesn't mean that you should stop exploring or that the exploration all of a sudden becomes pointless or that you should call off the transition. It simply means that you shouldn't bypass your current okayness and your present moment awareness in favor of a mirage in the future. And so that right there is the real opportunity which you are being faced with. Using your gender exploration as a means for activating and cultivating a deeper recognition of truth. So my suggestion with this tip is to see if you can participate in this world of change, but doing so from a place of completeness. So see if you can honor your truth by moving from here to there, however that shows up for your life or whatever that means to you, but while remaining aware of and connected to the you that has nowhere to go. And if you can do that, your gender exploration will take on an entirely different meaning. Instead of being a means to an end, it will become a celebration of your light and a manifestation of your truth. But of course, simply telling yourself in your head that, oh, I already am who I am, like that within itself is not quite enough. Because this is something that you need to actually experience, right? Like there needs to be a sort of like embodiment to go along with it. So watch this next video and then I'll share with you the most effective mindset that you can use in order to return to this fundamental recognition that if you're able to really just absorb it into your body, it's gonna forever shift your gender exploration. All right, that's all I've got in this one, and I will talk to you soon.